All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready to dive in.
Okay, cool. So today we're going to be talking about ah, UGC video production.
UGC.
And we're looking at this specifically through the lens of a professional filmmaker.
Ooh, okay.
So this should be interesting, right?
Yeah.
Kind of seeing how somebody who's worked on, big productions can then bring those skills to bear on something like UGC videos.
Right, right.
The source for this is a Fiverr Learn profile page.
Okay.
The guy's name is Frank Rod.
Frank Rod.
He is a director and actor.
Wow.
He has worked with brands like Netflix and even Chris Brown.
Oh, wow. So he's like a legit professional.
Yeah, he's the real deal. And, it's always interesting to me when you see people like that who then decide to, turn their attention to
UGC.
UGC, right? So, first of all, I just want to give you a few of the highlights from his bio.
Okay.
So this guy's got 10 years of experience in the industry.
That's a good amount of time.
Yeah, that's not insignificant, right?
Yeah.
He's worked with some pretty big brands like AliExpress and Fun Plus.
I've heard of those.
Yeah, so this isn't just somebody who's kind of dabbling in UGC. This is somebody who's got a proven track record of success.
Absolutely. And those are very recognizable brands too. So that's big for him.
Exactly. So, that immediately stood out to me. And then one of the things that he really emphasizes on his page is his comedic style.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So he talks about how, UGC can really be elevated by incorporating humor into it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because think about it when you're scrolling through your feed.
Yeah.
And you see a UGC video that's just like, very straightforward and kind of boring.
Right. You just keep scrolling.
You just keep scrolling. But if you see something that's funny, that's going to make you stop.
Right.
It's going to make you watch the whole thing, and it's going to make you remember it.
You're going to share it with your friends too, probably.
Yeah, it's
really funny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that he really highlights. And, it's a smart strategy, I think, because it's a way to really stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, especially in the world of UGC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's so much content out there.
Yeah.
It's really hard to cut through the noise.
Right.
So humor is definitely a good way to do that.
It's also a good way to build trust, I think.
Oh, how so?
Well, when a brand can make you laugh, it feels more human, Like they're not just this faceless corporation. They're people who get you.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And that can make you more likely to trust their products or services.
So it's almost like they're not even trying to sell you something. They're just trying to make you laugh.
Right. It's more about building a connection.
Yeah. And then once you've built that connection, then maybe you're more open to hearing about their products.
Exactly. It's kind of like a foot in the door with humor.
That's a really good point. And, something else that stood out to me on his profile was his emphasis on ethical content. Yeah, he's very clear about the fact that he doesn't do fake reviews or, make false claims.
That's good. I mean, there's so much of that out there.
Yeah, it's so rampant.
But it's refreshing to hear somebody
who's committed to...
who's like, no, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
And upfront.
Yeah, and he talks about how he really focuses on organically promoting the benefits of a product.
Okay.
So not trying to, force anything down people's throats, just kind of showing how the product can be used in a natural way.
Right. So it's like showing, not telling.
Exactly.
Which is always more effective.
Yeah. So I thought that was really important because, there's so much pressure in the UGC world to just kind of like, hype everything up and make everything seem amazing.
Especially if you're getting paid by the brand.
Right.
There's that pressure to be like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah. You have to say that.
Yeah.
Even if you don't really believe it.
Right. But it sounds like Frank is more interested in being authentic.
Yeah.
And building trust with his audience.
Yeah. And I think that that's ultimately going to be more successful in the long run.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because people can spot a fake from a mile away.
They can smell it.
Yeah.
So it's better to just be real.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit more about his actual credentials.
Okay.
As a filmmaker.
Oh, right.
So he has Fiverr Pro status.
Oh, wow.
Which is...
So that means he's been vetted by Fiverr.
So Fiverr has basically said, like, okay, this guy's the real deal.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. He's got the skills to back it up.
Right.
And he specializes in commercials, filmed video production, and, of course, UGC videos.
So he's got a range.
Yeah, he's got a range.
He's not just like a one-trick pony.
No, he's not a one-trick pony. And then another thing that I thought was really interesting is that he has a very international background.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So he's actually based in Turkey.
Okay.
But he has partnerships in Spain. He's done projects in Africa.
Wow. So he's like all over the place.
Yeah, so he's got this really global perspective,
That's awesome.
which I think is really valuable in today's world
Definitely.
because, the world is becoming increasingly interconnected.
And brands are trying to reach global audiences.
Exactly.
So having someone who understands different cultures and can speak to those different audiences, I think is
Huge.
a huge asset.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
So, and then finally, I just want to mention that he has his own production company.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's called Video Content Shop.
Catchy.
Yeah, it's a very straightforward name,
What?
but I think it gets the point across.
Absolutely.
Which is that he's, serious about this.
He's not just like a freelancer. He's like, I have a whole company.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a team. He's got
Yeah.
the resources. He's got the infrastructure.
So he's ready to handle big projects.
Exactly. So I think, looking at all this together,
Yeah.
it's really clear that Frank Rod is somebody who's really at the top of his game.
Yeah. He seems like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. And he's got a really unique approach to UGC video production.
Yeah. The comedy angle I think that's really smart.
It's a smart move.
And I like that he's committed to being ethical.
Yeah.
Because that's not always the case in the UGC world.
No, it's not. So it's refreshing to see somebody who's really putting that
Front and center.
front and center.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? Any final takeaways from this deep dive?
I think the big takeaway for me is that UGC video production is evolving,
What?
It's not just about like quick and dirty videos anymore.
Right.
Brands are realizing that they need to invest in high quality content.
Yeah.
Even if it's UGC.
Even if it's UGC.
And I think Frank is a great example of that.
Yeah.
He's bringing his professional experience to the table.
Yeah.
And he's creating content that's both entertaining and effective.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point. And, it makes me think about how important it is for brands to really think about their target audience
Right.
when they're creating UGC video.
You have to know who you're talking to.
Yeah, because what's going to resonate with one audience might not resonate with another.
Exactly.
So you really have to tailor your content to the specific people that you're trying to reach.
And you have to be authentic.
Yeah.
Like Frank.
Like Frank.
People can spot a fake from a mile away.
Yeah.
Huh?
So be yourself, be real, and have fun.
And don't be afraid to be funny.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to be funny.
Oh.
All right. So that's our deep dive on Frank Rod and his approach to UGC video production.
That was a good one.
Yeah. I hope you guys got something out of it.
I think so.
And, if you're interested in learning more about UGC video production, be sure to check out Frank's Fiverr Learn profile.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff on there.
Yeah, he does. So until next time, keep creating.
And keep it real.
Yeah, and keep it real.
And funny.
And funny.
We like funny.
We like funny. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye, everybody.